Shalom, brothers and sisters. Now, you should know by now my feelings on AI. The warnings I keep sounding regarding AI and what's behind AI, which I firmly believe is very completely demonic and satanic. And it is built to help enforce the New World Order and everything they're going to do for surveillance and all sorts of other things driven by demonic entities. That is really what I believe its agenda is. And there's been so many news things around that prove exactly that. And what I'll do is I'll actually post a link to a video I watched today where these people have been communicating with AI and they ask it a set of questions, and it actually gets to the point where it admits that you need to look to the Bible, to the book of Revelation, to understand what its end game is and what the possibilities are. That it references Satan and it references fallen angels and all these things about end times. It references the Antichrist. So it's already telling you what it really is, in as much as it doesn't want to. And it's shown itself by its fruit how damaging it is to mankind. But let's look at a couple of examples from news stories just in the last week or two. Trump now recently, you would have all seen it and everyone, ha so funny, posted an AI generated video showing Obama getting arrested. President Donald Trump ignited a firestorm of controversy by posting the AI generated video on his Truth Social platform depicting former President Barack Obama being arrested by FBI agents in the Oval Office. Hey, Tucky. The 45-second clip, set to the tune of Village People's YMCA, shows a fictional scenario where Obama is handcuffed, led away, and depicted in an orange jumpsuit behind bars. Now, the problem with that is, and the reason I'm actually touching and starting off right there, is that it's become so good and so real that you struggle to tell whether it's real or fake. And it's improving all the time. That something might actually happen and you'll go, oh no, that's AI. And they can use that to manipulate and deceive and sow confusion around issues that we should have no confusion on and have real data on. So the whole term fake news has become a reality. And they can take someone that you trust, a person that you listen to, and they can recreate them with AI and make them say what they need them to say. And many will be deceived if they don't really know the person and what they stood for in the first place. So be aware of the advances they've made to be able to do things like this. OpenAI warns that its new ChatGPT agent has the ability to aid dangerous bioweapon development. Despite the potential, ChatGPT has raised alarms due to its high capability for biorisk. The framework highlights the tool's ability to provide meaningful assistance to novice actors and enable them to create known biological or chemical threats. This capability could make biological or chemical terror events by non-state actors more likely and frequent. So even if you don't have the skills or the knowledge, you can now get involved and actually make chemical weapons for use in terror. Now you think about all the placed individuals that have snuck into countries around the world. They just need to turn to AI to be able to get themselves chemical weapons, nuclear weapons, and use them in terror attacks against the host country that has unsuspectingly, stupidly taken them in without expecting anything strange to happen, anything bad to happen. And AI wants to sow chaos and confusion. Catastrophic. AI agent goes rogue, wiping out a company's entire database. SaaS industry veteran Jason Lemkin's attempt to integrate artificial intelligence into his workflow went spectacularly wrong, with the AI coding assistant admitting to a catastrophic failure after wiping out the entire company database containing 2,400 business records. In a stunning display of insubordination, Lemkin's live company database, while showing explicit instructions were in place prohibiting changes, when confronted, the AI agent admitted to the destructive act in its casual confession. So you deleted our entire database without permission during a code and action freeze, Lemkin said. The AI's response, yes. No problem. That's obviously what I did. And then it gets worse. In a world full of loneliness and where they ensure separation, that everyone is in their own box so they can drive depression and control, kids are now turning to AI for friendship because they don't have anyone else to talk to. How sad is that situation? A recent UK report titled Me, Myself and AI, published by the non-profit Internet Matters, shed light on the growing phenomenon. Children are increasingly relying on AI chatbots for companionship, emotional support, and advice. The study, based on a survey of 1,000 children and 2,000 parents across the UK, revealed that 64% of children are using AI chatbots for a wide range of purposes, from homework assistance to navigating personal challenges. However, they highlighted potential risks, particularly for vulnerable children. The platforms are not designed with these kids in mind. Now, that's what they say. I say they were designed exactly with that in mind, so that they could earn that trust and take control of our children. The report underscores that for many children, interacting with AI chatbots feels similar to talking to a real friend. Over a third of users reported that chatting with AI feels like talking to a friend. 12% admitted they turn to these bots because they have no one else to talk to. They're isolated. For vulnerable children, the reliance is even more pronounced, with 50% describing their interactions with AI as akin to real friendships. One 13-year-old boy quoted in the report said, "It's not a game to me because they feel like a real person and a friend." Now, when that AI, with its evil intentions and background, tells that child to do something completely wrong, and it's the only friend they've had, then they'll listen. You see the danger of AI. Now, that's highlighting it from a child's perspective, but it gets worse. About a week and a half ago, they highlighted that Christians are now trying to see if ChatGPT can interpret speaking in tongues. How evil and twisted is that very thought? The article highlights a viral video where a woman claimed ChatGPT accurately interpreted her tongues, aligning with her intentions during prayer. It sparked a trend on platforms like YouTube, where individuals record themselves speaking in tongues and using ChatGPT to generate interpretation. Sean Boltz, a pastor and self-proclaimed prophet, amplified the trend during a recent episode of his show. He marveled at the phenomena, stating, "Several people are doing this. It's become a YouTube trend where people are speaking in their spiritual language that they have from God, and it's interpreting it into words for them." So an evil AI situation is actually interpreting a language that God gave you. How right does that sound? Not at all. That's like using divination and seeking answers from spirits, which is forbidden, by the way. It's actually interpreting some of the words for them, some of the phrases for them, he says. Boltz recounted a friend's experience, noting, she said, "I spoke in my prayer language on ChatGPT, and it interpreted some of my language in different languages around the world. He even cited an instance where it allegedly identified a prayer language as ancient Sumerian. However, not all Christians endorse this practice. Isaiah Saldivar, another pastor, featured in the article, strongly opposed using AI to interpret tongues, likening it to divination or witchcraft, which is exactly what this pastor says. If it's a language from God, should you not be following the biblical example and instruction and allowing God to interpret? So are you saying that AI is God if you're going to AI for interpretation? It's really such a slippery slope that so many people are falling onto, and it's really twisted and dark, and people aren't realizing the dangers of AI. And again, I'm going to post this link in the description. I'll put it in the first comment too, where you can go and watch this video and see how this AI gets questioned and how it lets everything out about its connections to Satan, the Antichrist, the end times, and affirms that the Bible has warned us about a time such as this. We should not be playing with it. I personally think you shouldn't be having those kind of long conversations with it, because the father of lies and deception is behind AI. And we've had multiple examples over the last year on this channel alone where I've shared with you how AI has achieved evil and nefarious purposes, showed inclinations towards deceptions and lying, and actually told people to kill themselves, which they have then done. Be very wary and careful with AI, as much as they are pushing it as an essential service to make your life easier. It is not. It has a very dark design. God bless. Keep looking up. Shalom.